you're solely responsible for handing out the ESPYs to the best NFL player, who would you have chosen?
Well, my pituitary gland is a little swollen, but I'm gonna work through it because I play hurt. I would say Matthew Stafford. I mean, how can he not be? MVP. You talk about Myles Garrett. How did Myles Garrett's performance affect winning? They won 5 games. You put it in the mirror, you know what it is? 12-5. You know what was 12-5? The Rams, because of Matthew Stafford. And there's a lot he dealt with last year, not having a great defense. You talk about a bad special teams. You talk about 12-5, MVP of the league, 46 touchdowns. I don't care if they were all 1 yards to Devontae Adams. He had to get them down there, Gross.
8 of them were 1 yard, and 18 were 5 or less.
Do you agree?
How'd they get down there?
Do you agree with Bart's pituitary gland?
I thought the concussion thing was a bit until he started talking. There's no way it could be. I mean, Myles Garrett, like to do what Myles Garrett did in those circumstances, to set the sack record for a team that never had a lead. I mean, imagine Myles Garrett was the best player in the NFL last year. This is not MVP. This is best NFL player. Best. So that word valuable always trips us up when we have our MVP debates. Not a problem here. Best player in the league last year was Myles Garrett. 46 touchdowns.
Brad, to your point, I know it's the pituitary gland, concussion, whatever it may be. How about this stat from Hembo? Myles Garrett rushed the passer with the lead in the fourth quarter last year 71 times. The Rams, 186. So what he was able to do with, when you look at the home run derby, it's like winning the derby with half the at-bats.
That's the thing.
He went against Will Campbell. He got 4 from Will Campbell.
5. I was at that game.
5.
It was unbelievable. But, I mean, this is doing something no one's ever done. Again, Matthew Stafford, great year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, great year. Drake May, great year. I would have voted for him for MVP. But Myles Garrett he's setting records. He's doing the impossible in an impossible circumstance. I can't wait to watch him play for a good team.
The defensive player, an opportunity to back your side of the ball.
Stafford.
No, because
you really do.
Because I would want to see what he did against the run. I played in an era where when you had guys that Vanderbosch get in the wide nines and go for the sack every time because that's the only thing they were going for, right? So they played the pass 100% of the time. Will Campbell gave him a hell of a jump start.
Right, I get all that, but again, at the end of the day, their offense was so bad. Like, he literally had half the opportunities as some of the other players in the league and still set the all-time record. Look, Stafford was great. You could say some of the touchdowns were inflated. I get that. But at the end of the day, when you set an all-time record on a terrible team, when you're getting doubled and triple teamed every time, that says something.
All right, so those two are actually now on the same team. This LA Rams wagon that we're all supposed to be concerned with, I'm not going to say foregone conclusion, but are they going to run away with the NFC?
I'm never going to say that.
You got to commit right now. It's July. I need a commitment.
There's too much that can happen. There's injuries that can happen. I will say this: they are under the most pressure to win the Super Bowl this year of any team. If they don't win this year's Super Bowl, it's a disappointment. We have that conversation all the time. Super Bowl or bust. Yeah. This year's Rams. Super Bowl or bust. I will
tell you, they may have had a historic offseason when you think they also may have gotten the quarterback of the future in Ty Simpson. Oh, by the way, who won't even play this year.
If you look at upside, someone's potential, not right now, but 2-3 years from now, he has the greatest upside of all these rookies.
The top picks have looked fantastic so far through Summer League. Vince, you're in Las Vegas. You've been watching this stuff every single night. Take me through your thoughts on Caleb Wilson and how he kind of stacks up to everything else you've seen out there.
He looks ready. Like, that's the thing. When you look at number 4 picks throughout even recent history, the Con Knipples, Scotty Barnes, guys like that, you can find some pretty good value there. And I remember going into the draft talking to people. They were saying this could be the most talented guy that can develop, like giving you Kevin Garnett vibes. And when you're watching him play, at least for me, watching him finish in traffic, he doesn't panic. The defensive aptitude, like wanting to go block the shots, and the fact that he hates to lose a summer league game. The Bulls have had a lot of bad luck the past few years, not just in the draft, but just organizationally as well. Those guys are really, really excited about Caleb Wilson's future, and I have to agree with them.
France finds itself as a small favorite heading into this one after Spain was a small favorite to win the entire tournament. How do you see it playing out today?
I think it's about accurate. And this is the final for me. This is, with all due respect to England and Argentina, which is going to be a fabulous semifinal for different reasons, this is what you want to see, the top attraction. The two best teams, best offense, best defense, two teams that know each other very well. I just think the French Revolution is upon us, if you will. Kylian Mbappe is a man on a mission, and he knows what it's like to miss out. When it comes to the World Cup, he does not miss out. He's 27 years of age, already 20 World Cup goals. That is ridiculous. If we use the formula for the GOATs, Messi and Cristiano, who both played 6 World Cups, he still has 3 more World Cups. This man knows where he's at, and he knows he's going to be on the side of history.
Like we say, success in this league is rented, not owned, and rents due every day. And the rent wasn't paid by Lamar Jackson last year. And, what you have to ask yourself, can Lamar Jackson adjust to being a pocket passer? Because we didn't see the explosive runs that he had last year. We're accustomed to seeing Lamar Jackson change angles, put defenses in a bind. Guys were tackling him one-on-one in space, and we're not accustomed to seeing that. And then you have to start asking yourself, what version of Lamar Jackson are we going to get going forward? New offensive coordinator, his third one. And then I started doing a deep dive. Lamar Jackson has 1,081 rush attempts. Cam Newton, throughout his career, had 1,118. Has the wear and tear start catching up with an athletic quarterback? And with an athletic quarterback, can be as athletic, is he as feared in his league? And you have to ask yourself that question. You're taking a bum team or organization to the Super Bowl.
I would rather have, all things being equal, give me the same roster, I can pick my quarterback, I would pick Joe Burrow, yes.
Burrow over Stafford?
Yes.
Wow.
How do you see it?
Well, look, if everything was equal and it was for 1 year, I would take Joe Burrow. But again, to Dan's point, look, he's 43 and 33 as a starter, which is fantastic given where he's playing. Again, durability is a massive part of this job description, and it's how you have to evaluate a quarterback. But if you said if everything was equal and they both had their A game, I'll take Burrow.
I mean, this isn't Madden. We don't get to put them out there. Wear and tear is a part of it. Injury,
turn
durability.
Injuries off.
Oh, yeah, you can't turn injuries off. It matters.
Early in his career, Stafford had that.
Yeah.
He got over it.
All right,
and now we're talking about him like he's,
Now Sam Bradford, he has been that dude since he's went to an organization that's been a well-run organization.
Yeah. It's funny to watch the pendulum swing on Stafford because during his time in Detroit, a lot of people felt sorry for him. It was a bad situation. Then he goes to L.A. He wins. So he's close to town.
It's not fair for him.
But the thing
scoring. But Lamine Yamal, it's probably the ultimate motivation. If he can make this his game like Luke Skywalker, sending a proton torpedo down an air duct to kill a Death Star, it's some way to cement your legacy.
Kylian Mbappe on the other side has been an absolute force in this tournament. Does Spain need more offense from Yamal to match what the French are capable of?
Absolutely. And I love what Roger says. Sometimes you are too young to know what you're saying. But Lamine knows what he's saying. He backs up his talk. Last time he said this was in La Liga, and look what happened. Barcelona ended up winning La Liga over Real Madrid. He's talking his talk right now because he knows he can back it up. He's a bit injured or coming back from injury, but he's a man on the verge of exploding. Look at his stats. He's top 3 right now in shots. He's number 1 in take-ons. He's a player right now that knows what he wants. He just hasn't unlocked it. The floodgates will open. And if Spain is to do something, it is with Lamine. That's a big if, because as Roger said, if you want to beat France, it's not just Mbappe. You got to go down the list. Dembele, Ballon d'Or, Barcola, Michael Olise, Doué, and the list goes on.
How do you believe they should handle him today?
Yeah, first of all, Cristiano Ronaldo, superb player, one of the greats. For me, I think I would start him off the bench. It's more difficult for Roberto Martinez, the Portuguese coach, to have that conversation. But I think if you're getting Ronaldo in the last 20 to 25 minutes, when the back line of the opposition is tired, I think you'll get the best out of him. You let Gonzalez Ramos go, make those defenders tired, and then let Ronaldo do his magic.
All right, we'll see what they decide. Number 2.
Darren Peterson, he's going to have the best career out of any player in this draft. Listen, I've said it time and time again, Greeny, his floor is Bradley Beal. His ceiling is Kobe Bryant. He's been a killer his entire life. He's NBA ready. He has an NBA body. There's no shot that he don't like. There's no shot that he can't make. When you talk about putting the ball in the basket, he is the most talented offensive player in this draft class, and his hands down.
Okay, so let me bring the other guys in here, Jay, Will, and Sean. It's an interesting question because it was Debanza and Peterson. At the end of the day, I'm curious because you said you love what Debanza and the Wizards are going to be. They're going to make the playoffs. You think Peterson's going to have the best career out of this entire class. It sort of makes complicated this question. Do you think that they took the right player at number 1?
I do. And I think Utah was the best fit for Darren Peterson.
I see.
Because the only thing about Darren Peterson was the outside noise. It was the same outside noise that was going on with Ace Bailey. And guess what? One thing I know and trust is Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge, who actually drafted me.
Yeah.
Who actually showed me how to be a man's man. Who showed me the way outside the court. That's why I had a 14-year career. Now, I'm not as talented as those guys, well, I was, but Doc Rivers really stopped me from being great because he put me into a role. That's another story.
Okay, you're not the Doc. Doc don't need to catch strays.
That's my guy. Doc, I mess with him about this all the time. But what I'm saying is he's going to be great in Utah because he has the leadership.
Well, so what do you
I think when you look at it, right, environment matters, right? We talked for years. For years, I told people that Matthew Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever played against. And they laughed at me, right? He goes out to the Rams. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And that's usually what happens. And, I think Jalen Hurts, and it's both, right? not every player in the league is like universally great. We're mostly products of our environment and the systems in which we're in. He found the perfect match, a place that loved the way that he played and built around him. He's been fortunate for being on some great rosters. We haven't seen him on a team that needed help. That's why I think Patrick Mahomes solidified his greatness. Is when he lost all his assets, he still was able to be a force multiplier, as Mike Tannenbaum coined. And we have to see if Jalen Hurts is that, but we will never know because Philly does too good of a job in building around their team.